think it's time to start turning some dirt because it's really damn nice outside and we're finally done fixing shit. Well, except for 2 little planter projects that are like an hour a piece, but we're not going to count those because they're not major projects. But I got 2 of those fields I cut fence lines on. I left the end rows unworked, so I had an easier time getting in and out with a tractor. So I'm gonna go chisel those. One's the church field with that farmstead, and the other one's down on the muck. I want to go get that clay knob work down there, and then I went down this morning and checked on the muck, and it's dry enough, so we're gonna take the 19 down there and try the new disc out. But I was hoping to get started earlier, but I went over to Matt's this morning, got this thing and brought it home, which it was also Teeter's first ride in a tractor for that kind of period of time, and she actually did really good, except for the fact that she couldn't see out the window. So basically I was sitting up in the seat, and she basically spent the whole time with her front paws up on my leg so she can get herself up high enough to look out the windows. It wasn't like she was scared or she was trying to get away, because she wasn't antsy. She just sat on my leg and looked out the windows. So, which I could probably cure that problem, because what I want to do when I rebuild that cab is I want to come in here on both sides of the cab. I want to come in and cut this out and put another window so you can see out beside you. And I think if I did that, she'd probably just lay there on the floor and look out the window just fine. But anyway, back to the story. I got this thing back over the house this morning. Finished servicing it out. I checked the hydraulic oil, greased the pivot and greased the shafts, checked the 3-speed, double checked the engine oil after I ran it, and went to put 80/90 in it. Well, we only had 1.5 gallons at the house to begin with, which I didn't realize we were about out. So it took me almost 40 minutes through a funnel to get that 1.5 gallons oil in the front diff, because 80/90 things, well, that didn't fill it up, so I had to run into town, and I got another bucket of oil, and I was pissed at how long it took, so I grabbed a bucket pump, and I had to put about another 4 gallons oil in it, but with that bucket pump it only took 5 minutes. So she's good to go now, as long as it doesn't leak. But anyway, best get after it. Here we are at stop 1. I see the wet spot down there, still a little wet. Yeah, that pond stays a little scuzzy. I tell you what, this place would be cool as hell. I would take this fence row out, build a house right here, dig that pond out, leave the barns out, or leave the barns there, because then you'd have a perfect, this is a nice high spot. You could look clean across the field. You got a view of the church. This right here would be a nice spot to build a house. It'd be nice if that fence row wasn't there and I could farm that, but that's all in CRP, so at least as far as I know. I found in the plot book which house it belongs with. It's just one of these days it'd be nice to catch the people out there, because if it's not in CRP, it's just there's not actually any way to get to that ground from the road, but there's a hole in the fence line right there, and since I farm this, I could farm that if it's not in CRP. But by the looks of the house, they're Chicago people, and Chicago people are not always the easiest to deal with because they're really fucking weird. did the end rows down there on that field. So just gotta do these real quick. It's where it's a lot, it's even drier down here than I thought it was when I came. It's dry. Like this is perfect. Hopefully. I'm taking a chance bringing the 19 down here with a disc, but I'd rather disc with the 19 just because I like discing with that tractor. So plus if we get that stuck, this will get it out. But we'll get these things. I'm just gonna make a pass down, work the mandrels, make a pass out, we'll be good. About shit a brick. My stop engine light's on. Oh wait, no it's not. The sun's coming through that hole in the dash and making it look like it's lit. I was like, I don't think that's I didn't think that light worked. It doesn't. But we're carrying oil pressure, so I don't know why the hell it would have been on anyway. That job done. More importantly, no leaky there. No leaky there. And you can't really see up in here. But the bell housing's dry, so it looks like no leaky there. Which is just what we want to see. Nothing blew up, so that's always a good sign. So I guess next thing to do is go home and grab the 19 out of the barn and come down here and do some disking. Pray we don't get stuck. So one more thing I want to mention before we go grab the 19. That I noticed has changed about this thing since I worked on it is before, driving down the road, it wouldn't really do it in the field. It would on occasion, but mostly going down the road. If you got it up over about 2,400 RPM, between 23 and 2,400 RPM and up, it would hunt real bad. It would, it'd do that, and the RPM wouldn't stay. Change that throttle shaft seal, that went away. I can run it wide open and it don't give a shit. So apparently that seal being bad might make it suck a little bit of air at high RPM, no load, and that'll make it hunt. It's the only thing I can come up with. It's the only thing that changed is I put that seal in it. So if you have a 3208 that likes to hunt at high RPM, check that throttle shaft seal. Well, I dare say the wind picked up a little bit since last time I was down here. But I guess we'll go ahead and get her unfolded, and it either will or it won't. There's only one of two options at this point. Well, I guess we're ready to rock and roll, or rock and get stuck, but as dry as it is, I think we're gonna be all right. Now when I did this last fall, I went this way, so this time I'm gonna go this way. And then the last time I worked it, I'll just work it straight. Try to keep it level. If I take it off the transport lock, that might help. Now it might work better. except for one minor inconvenience. These damn angle braces on these two front wings keep screwing me. Shit gets balled up in behind him and then it stops the gangs. So I got Dad bringing me some tools and I'm gonna take these things off. I should have took them off. I should have never put them back on when I put the wings together. I was like, well, they were probably on there for a reason. Well, whatever reason, it was stupid because they don't work. But yeah, take them off real quick, and well, as soon as Dad gets down here, and keep on rolling. least for the first time. Tell you what, I was that close to stopping everything I was doing and going home and getting my 870 and a box of shells and blasting every one of them damn rats with wings. I was coming down here, I was making a turn on the Enduro, and I just happened to be looking at the fender right when that son of a bitch shit, and I saw it splat, and I was like, oh, if that thing would have hit me, I would have been one angry person. But I tell you what, rebuilding this thing is probably the best 1,800 bucks I ever spent in my life. Those blades are worth every single penny. Took those brackets off the front wings. That pretty much eliminated the plugging problem. I did it twice. Once I got into this field, I happened to me on this gang twice. And both times it was because right about where them damn seagulls are, there was a wet spot that probably actually had a little bit of water still standing in it. So the trash was just soaking wet, and it plugged that gang on a pass down and on a pass back. But other than that, I never had any other plugging issues with it. They started turning easier as the paint started wearing off, so all in all, money well spent. Fucking mint. And those notch blades just tear the ever-loving hell out of this trash. I don't think it's a night and day difference between those things and smooth blades. So, all in all, very, very happy with how that turned out. Stuff's already starting to dry out. It's only been turned over for 15 minutes. I was rolling dust over there and got about halfway across, and that's where the wet spot starts, and I had to start feathering the disc because it got, I wasn't sinking, but it was like driving on top of a grease barrel. So basically just needed to get it broke open, get the stuff fluffed back up so air can get into it, get it dried off, get the residue buried so the sun can get to it. Because that's what it's like when you farm a sponge. Well, anyway, I think it's time for me to get folded up and get home because I got a fire and dinner to go to, so it is going to be a beautiful night for it. Got done disking over there, got down here, the damn wind went away, so this was a nice little job down here disking this. Well, anyway, I guess that's it for this one, and we will probably catch you guys, well, I know we'll catch you guys on the next one, but got an interesting video for, well, interesting for me. It's mostly for me, well, you guys will see tomorrow. But anyway, that's it for this one. We'll catch y'all on the next one.